So this is a video that I'm not gonna lie, I've sat down a couple of times to try to film and have failed. It's so messed up with anxiety because whenever it comes to talking about anxiety, you have anxiety and it makes it more difficult to talk about it. The last time I attempted to make this video, I actually got kind of emotional, and that's just not the vibe I wanted to have in this video because I want it to be more uplifting. There's enough stress going on with everything right now that I don't want to add to that or make it worse for anyone or myself. And like I said, I want this to be a positive and uplifting video on how you can cope with anxiety or depression. And these are things that I've talked about a couple of times before on my channel, but this is kind of different for me because I've been changing a lot of things in my life. I've been trying new ways to cope with anxiety, some of which have been awesome and some of which have failed miserably. And oh God, I have so many things that are making me nervous to film this because I don't know how people are going to react to what I have to say. I don't know if people are going to be more critical of me. Whatever, we'll see what happens. First of all, I want to send a shout out to BetterHelp. They're an online therapy service that I've been using, and they actually agreed to sponsor me, which is awesome because I enjoy using their product, and I actually think it'll be really good for a lot of people because for me, like I said at the beginning of this video, I have a difficult time talking about my anxiety. I have anxiety about going to a therapist, and it's something that I've tried before, and it's been a discouraging experience for me. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't go to therapy or have a therapist if that's something that works for you. It's just I've gone before and I haven't like connected with my therapist, and I've switched to a new one and I've struggled, and the act of going made me nervous. So then I would walk into the doctor's office and just be uptight and not like in the most comfortable environment. So with BetterHelp, they're online and you can just sit in the comfort of your own home. A lot of people I know also are anxious about driving. So the act of getting in your car and going somewhere can be upsetting. So this is another way to cope with that. I'm gonna get more into what they're all about later in this video. If you wanna see what they're all about, you can use the link at the top of my description, tryonlinetherapy.com/Jacqueline. Let me know what you think. For me, the first thing I did, which people may or may not agree with being the correct move, and this is where I'm starting to get nervous talking about this. The first thing I did was I went to my primary care physician. She prescribed Lexapro. People have mixed feelings about taking medication, about taking antidepressants. I tried them like many years ago and had a good experience, so I was open to trying this again, thinking that it would be another good experience. And I was put on 10 milligrams of Lexapro, and I took it for about 6 months. I had really bad side effects. So now we're embarking on reason number one why I'm really scared to talk about this. I do not want to discourage anyone from taking meds. I'm not trying to say that they don't work for some people. Everyone's body reacts differently to different drugs, so definitely talk to your doctor and figure out what's best. This was just my experience. Okay, I did not have a good experience. It worked at first. It worked for the first maybe 3 or 4 months. I noticed I didn't have any panic attacks during that time, which was amazing because it was kind of, oh man, it was getting really bad there for me for a while. And month 5, I noticed that the effect of the drug was kind of wearing off. I started getting panic attacks again, and I noticed that things that normally would excite me and make me happy weren't really doing that as much. I just felt kind of like I was becoming numb to the world. And now we enter into the other thing, which I am incredibly uncomfortable talking about. I also noticed on this drug that I was gaining weight. A lot of weight very quickly. It didn't happen at all during the first 4 months. And then the next 2 months taking it, I shot up in just 2 months, 25 pounds. I know already, and this is, oh God, I hate this so much. I know what people are gonna say in the comments. They're gonna be like, well, you were too thin to begin with. You needed to eat a sandwich. You said you wanted to gain a little bit of weight anyway. Why is someone that looks like you complaining about gaining weight? You know, you have no reason to complain, yada, yada. I didn't fit into my pants anymore. I felt uncomfortable. I felt like I didn't look like myself. And although I did want to gain maybe 5 or 10 pounds 25 in 2 months was insane. A lot of people didn't notice, but a lot of people did. I posted this photo on Instagram, and I look fine. I don't think it's like a bad photo, but I noticed a few comments, and I was so uncomfortable by the comments. You know, people were congratulating me. They were nice. They were like, oh, great, you're getting a little thicker. You look great. I just deleted a lot of them, and then I stopped. And I just put my phone away. I found one, and this really bothers me because a lot of people were saying very similar things. I'm not a constant follower, but I've noticed since you and Richie broke up that you've put on a little weight. And honestly, you look so healthy and vibrant. You may not read this or reply, but I wanted to just tell you that I'm glad you're happy, and I think I speak for everyone else who sees your posts. You are glowing. See, it's a compliment. It's a nice thing, but a lot of people were attributing it to the fact that part of the issue I had in my previous relationship was that I wasn't thick enough, which I don't know why you would fucking date someone that you weren't, you know, happy with originally, but whatever. That was a thing. And so people were starting to think that, oh, you know, like when you break up with someone, you try to look even better to make them wish that, you know, they were still with you or something like that. And they thought, a lot of people thought I was trying to gain weight to do that, which is ridiculous, and it was really insulting, I thought, which gave me even more anxiety, which made me even more depressed. It's great until you realize it's directly because he talked about how much hotter the other girl was for putting on weight. I was getting a lot of comments like that. I didn't change my diet, my appetite didn't really go up or down while taking Lexapro, but I do think my metabolism changed to the point where I was gaining a lot of weight really fast all of a sudden, and that freaked me out. And I was unhappy. I did not like the way that I looked. And right now, if people are gonna be like, oh, you look fine now, or if you look at my current photos, I lost that. I stopped taking Lexapro back in March, and the weight started falling off in about a month or two. And I also picked up exercising because I weaned myself off the drug. I was only on 10 milligrams, but I stopped taking it slowly and decided to try other ways of reducing my stress, also ways that would help me feel healthier. So I decided, you know, I'm not gonna, a lot of people immediately turn to eating less or dieting or trying to change their caloric intake or something like that. And I just I didn't want to do that. I feel like I already eat pretty healthy and I didn't really need to change the amount or, you know, types of food that I ate. But I did acknowledge the fact that I never exercise, I never work out, which is not great. And also, if you do that, you tend to de-stress. It's a great way to relax yourself. So I picked up running, and I've been running for the last couple of months, and I have been really proud of myself because I've been doing it almost every single day for the last 2.5 months. So I have been sticking to that, and I have lost 20 of the 25 pounds. So that's why I don't look different, because I wasn't really posting many photos during that time. And the few that you can kind of tell, you know, obviously I'm not going to post the ones that I thought looked bad, but the few where you can kind of tell, people were like, I'm so proud of you, you know, or, or attributing it to, oh, you're just trying to make your ex feel like shit. You know, all of this was out of my control, and these comments were not helping my mental state. I went back to my doctor, and I told her how the drug was affecting me and how I didn't like the way it made me feel, how it wasn't even really effective anymore, and how it was making me gain weight. The solution to me saying, I don't like the way this drug is affecting me, was to double the dose. She was like, okay, well right now you're only on 10 milligrams. We're gonna just go ahead and up that to 20. Oh, you guys know what happened. I already said that I stopped taking it, but I was a little annoyed at that because I had just sat there and explained how uncomfortable it was making me and all these negative side effects, and the solution was take more of it. Take more of that thing that is making you feel like shit. So I went to a new doctor that agreed that taking it was maybe not the best option for me. She gave me a very low dose and a very small amount of Xanax. Klonopin is another barbiturate that people can get prescribed for panic attacks and things like that, but it's a longer lasting drug and you kind of just take it every day. And I told her I don't really want to be reliant on a medication. I don't want to take something every day. Xanax I know is dangerous because it can be very addictive to people. I'm not the kind of person that has an addictive personality, so I'm not worried about it. I've had the prescription now for like a month and I've taken 3. But I know that there's there's more to it than that. There's more in my life that I need to, you know, this is like a Band-Aid. This helps prevent a serious panic attack once it's started, but I want to get to the point in my life where I don't feel those feelings to begin with, and I think the only way to do that is behavioral therapy, which brings me back to BetterHelp, which I've been using, and so far I've had a really good experience. You can choose if you want a male or a female doctor, if you want somebody who's religious or non-religious. I chose female just because I feel like they'd be able to identify with my particular set of problems better, and also non-religious because I've had before therapists try to like make me feel better by saying, you know, love God, or God's watching you, or there's a greater meaning or greater purpose and you'll find it. And just those types of things do not make me feel better because I don't, you know, think that. I don't think that way at all. It also helps you match with the right person by, you know, asking if depression is more of a problem or anxiety or both. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, they are licensed, fully trained, accredited counselors. They are LGBTQ+ friendly. You can use it for just yourself, or it can be a couples therapy if you'd like. It's definitely cheaper than going to a counselor in person. And also if you use it, I think for 3 months, it gets even cheaper after that too. So that's pretty sweet. So if it's something you want to try and you want to see if it helps you like it's helping me, go to tryonlinetherapy.com/Jacqueline and let me know what you guys think. I know this is a strange video. It's a little bit different than things I normally talk about. I mean, I have mentioned before that I have anxiety and that I've gone through, you know, a lot in my life. But it is still something that makes me uncomfortable to talk about to this degree because I feel like I've opened myself up to so many different, you know, things that people can judge me for or criticize me for. And I know me mentioning the weight thing is gonna trigger people. I'm just ready. I'm ready for people to hate me for that. My doctor did mention that there are other types of antidepressants that I might consider in the future that don't cause weight gain. I think Wellbutrin is one, Luvox is one. You know, so there are other options, and we'll see how I fare with therapy and just doing what I'm doing and exercise and, you know, keep doing my thing. And if I need to go on that at some point, I will update you and let you know if I have negative side effects or my experience with that. If you guys are taking any kind of medication or doing any kind of therapy or even, you know, any alternative things like exercise or yoga or meditation, if you're doing any of those things and they're helpful to you, please leave a comment below and let me know what you're doing to help yourself, because I think this will be a great way for everyone to kind of communicate and help each other out. I mean, I get quite a few comments on my videos, but I think this is going to be one in particular that I want to go through and read all of the comments because I need help too. And I think it's important to talk about. I think mental health, I think we're getting better, but I do think it's still really stigmatized, and I think people don't understand. You know, whenever I say that I have panic attacks, people think that I just get stressed sometimes, and they don't know how severe they can be and how scary they can be. You know, or if you say that you have depression, people are like, aw, don't be sad, or cheer up, as though, oh gee, I wish I had thought of that before. Don't be stressed. It's like, well, thanks. And I know people are saying that with their best intentions, but when you really struggle with something that you feel is slightly out of your control, and someone says, just don't be that thing, it's really sad. It's really discouraging. I don't know. I hear things like that all the time, and it is so frustrating to me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. I am very interested to see what people have to say, what things you've done to try to get through difficulties in your life, and, you know, all the encouraging things we're going to say to each other, right? In the comments. Everyone's going to be nice. And if you want, check out the link in the top of my description, tryonlinetherapy.com/Jacqueline. Let me know if it works for you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!